yeah, what's that now? That's 30 years, isn't it? Is that really that long? Well, crumbs, it is that long. Yeah, Tom's laughing, so it must be that long. Freddie came up to me and said, is this new business? Is this new business, James? I said, no, no, no. 20th of May, hot day today. 2 sprayers are running. One's next door, just getting filled up. One's just got out washing out, finished the peas now, so it's going to get washed out to go ready onto the wheat. So they'll get the wheat sprayed here. We're starting to put on an efficient N28 as well to try and help raise protein levels on the milling wheat. We put on 2 sprays, one now, and then we do another one a bit later on when we do the N18, which is a volume-based spray. So class of sending some tractors. So 4 have turned up. One of them's on tracks, I think. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this one's on a half track, 960. And this is all part of Horsch. We were using the site for a month. They've got people from all over the world coming, out of Europe, out of South America, out of Northern America. So they use lighting, different manufacturers, Fendt as well as Class. And they're putting them on Horsch equipment. And then they're in the Field of Dreams, they're doing the demonstrations. It's amazing how the different sizes of the machines, when you put them together, actually how small that tractor is in relation to the one with half tracks. Anyway, and then the Horsch have dropped. There's some lorries coming over from America, not America, sorry, from Germany. So we had 2 lorries on Saturday arrive, and they've been over there to collect these direct from the factory. And each lorry could only carry 1 of these each. So it's quite a haulage cost to bring it over from Germany. But this is the new Sprinter drill, which is a sort of replacement for the one we have. Much lower horsepower requirement, and is very much designed on the almost like the American style for the direct drilling, but with a tine. And then you've got here, this is like a, what do they call this one? Oh, it is a Pronto. So you've got the discs here, then you've got the level boards, and then you've got the Pronto disc system, which is the same as what's on the turbo, which is on the same as what's on our power drill. So this is, I think it's a 6 meters. Actually looks a bit taller. I wonder if it's an 8. Oh no, 7. Oh, it's a 7 meter. So, yeah, so got 7 meter there. Yeah, nice bits of kit straight out of the factory. You can smell the newness on them, smell it on the tyres. So yeah, the stuff's starting to turn up. So yeah, looks good in the Shed of Dreams. The lights look good. They haven't wired up my Indiana Jones lights yet though. It's just either on or off. I think once we get the extension done, then we'll be able to do it.
So we're out in the yard. Unfortunately, we've got a truck off the road today. Had a little bit of an incident on Friday. Spoke to the insurance, and the wait for estimates and getting in for repair was too long, so we've taken the decision to do the repairs ourselves. You can see we've got a heap of spares to the side there, and all the broken parts are on the back. We've stripped it down, found all the parts that are needed. That was yesterday morning. Let Volvo know, parts are here this morning. We'll have the truck back on the road, minus the paint this afternoon, and then it'll be painted and done, ready for the open day.
Here's Glyn, he's on the long reach digger. He's pulling this yard up, taking the stone off the top, and then they're going to run it through the screener. I see he's got his arms all rolled up like a real Englishman, all rolled up, sitting in the cab there. Need a tissue on his head next. So now we're starting to work on this yard, hoping to get this yard completely pulled up with the stone, get it screened, and then Chris can, as he comes around, preparing the drain, and they'll start doing this side to put the drainage in off all the land, all of the gutters. So this will be then watertight, and then they can start concreting 24 metres out, and then preparing the rest with curbs and hardcore, ready for the future. Unfortunately, I won't be able to concrete it this year unless it's a good harvest or a good price, I suppose, depending on which way you look at it. Really pleased how this is working out. So they're getting through the IBC, so they're going to be pumping these out. But is now you can get round with a fork. Oh dear. You get round with a forklift and get the second sprayer can overtake the first sprayer. The shed's working out just as I designed it, and I'm really pleased actually. It's actually working out for us as a real success. And we're building quite a stock of clever clutches. They've got to get all these on. I think they've got about 35 of them to put on. So this is going to be a new chamber we're going to put here, new tank, so that it collects all the water. Then it's going to take it down, and this will be an oil interceptor will go in here. So all of this yard will then get treated into an oil interceptor, which he'll drop in, and then it goes off and then down into the main pipe, which they've got there, and then they're going to have to quite relatively shallow this pipe in sensors, so they've got to create a different raft over the top, put some extra mesh on, make the concrete a bit thicker so it creates like a bridge. Got the panels in, they'll start to come down, concreting down here, and then they'll start curbing up the edge. So I think once they start to get up here and get around this corner, I just can't wait for this area to get done. It's one of those things, every time I come around the corner it doesn't look like we've achieved anything, but it is getting better, it's just a bit slower. And then when the concrete boys are back, that'll be good. It'd be nice to finally get that yard sort of tapped in. And my show field, as there's been no rain, it's not grown at all. So hopefully it won't be wet on the open day, and it's dry, it won't really matter because it'll just be a dry dust field rather than be a disaster if it turns wet. And then we're out there with mud curling up around the feet, but fingers crossed it won't. If that's the case, I think we're going to reverse flow what we're doing. So we'll avoid that sort of soil, and we'll have to change how the yard's going. Now that the field is being mowed down, I mean, we're just waiting for the forager to turn up, which won't be long, and then we'll have a look at that. Right, so they mowed all of the land here, which was 108 hectares, and they finished it in a day basically. They went quite late, but they got it all mown, and there's another block they've got to do, and then we're waiting for the forager to turn up, which will start lifting this and into the yard, and then load it into the lorries, and then it will go off to the AD plant. And the heaps, since the sun's been on the back of these the O's, and because it's been crimped as well, it's really dropped in height. I would say it's a third of the height that it was. Forager's arrived, so he's just going to unload it. Nice Krone Forager. Never had a forager on this farm before, so this will be something new. I would imagine 1180 probably means it's 1180 horsepower. We'll ask him when he gets parked up. Oh, good. That's exciting. Now we'll start to make some make hay, as they say. So Charlie, this is the first time out this season?
No, we've been out a few times this season.
Oh, so it's not brand new to
no,
this year?
No, it looks shiny, but it's been out a few times.
Okay, doing grass?
Yeah, grass.
Okay, and are you the main driver?
No, I come and go, but...
You've got two of these, is that right?
Two, yeah, two the same.
And are they the same? So when it says 1180, does that actually mean 1180 horsepower?
That's horsepower, yeah,
okay,
when she's
that
flying.
That was a good guess then.
Yeah.
It's frame. We had Tim Adcock here yesterday when they were setting up the new mower.
Yeah.
So
how did that get on? Looks like
he's done really well. He
too
did
bad.
108 hectares, and when he got set up yesterday morning, he went fairly late, but he's knocked it all over.
Yeah.
He wasn't here this morning, that's for sure. So he's gone. But the heaps, interestingly, they were up here.
Yeah.
And then through the course of the day, they almost look like they've gone flat.
They've gone flat, yeah.
And that's normal, is
There's
it?
plenty of heat, isn't there? Yeah, they sit down, relax a bit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's been a lot of heat today.
Definitely.
But what's it like, this machine?
Very good. Can't beat them.
How old is it?
It's 23. It was new last year, end of the season.
Yeah.
Got to do maize with it.
It's a big horsepower, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot.
And what speed do you think you'll be able to go along the grass here?
Fairly quickly.
Can
Just
the
depends
trailer
how
drivers
smooth
keep
it
up?
is. Yeah, they've got the lorries. Either lorries or 9 series fence, so they've got plenty of power behind them.
They can keep up?
Yeah, definitely.
And the drivers, are they sort of, they get used to it fairly quickly?
They get pretty switched on pretty quickly, yeah.
Otherwise they get covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this isn't going to take any prisoners, is it?
No, it doesn't, no. It's very good for lumps and bits and bobs, you know, there's no sort of danger of
So this
blocking
is a
them,
grass
30
header
cents.
then?
This is what, sorry?
A grass header?
Yeah,
And then you've got a direct cut as well, haven't you?
whole crop header,
Whole
yeah.
crop. And then when you do maize, have you got a different header for
Maize
that?
header for that as well, yeah.
Right, so you have to have 3 attachments.
Yeah.
Crumbs. This must be the best one to use though, is it?
Don't know, the maize one's quite fun. It's 9 metres.
Because of the way it pulls it in?
Yeah, and it's 9 metres, so you're getting across the ground pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, I suppose in theory this is 9 metres.
Yeah,
if you
it
know
is,
what I mean.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's quite
But I see
satisfying
what
with
you
the
mean.
maize.
You're going in with the maize, tall crops,
Disappears in front
and
of
it's
you.
just going.
Yeah.
And
It's
how
very
low can you
satisfying.
get? Can you get this low with the maize headers?
You can, depending on the ground and how level it is. They've got big skid plates underneath them, which sort of bring the header up.
Okay.
The Kemper headers we use, not the Krone headers.
Okay.
They do a good job for us.
Okay. So is that just because you prefer that type of header?
Yeah, they take a bit of adapting to get them on the front, but obviously.
Because I'm assuming that it's a bit like a class and a case combine. You can't just go pick up the other header.
No, yeah, there's a bit of fiddling with all.
It's a
with all
shame
of
they
them.
don't make them universal, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah, but no, we get on well with the Kemper header.
And the cab, is it
Yeah.
a Krone cab or is it like a class cab or something?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
But it looks comfortable.
It's a lovely cab, yeah, lovely seat, big improvement from the last. We had the older model, the 1100s.
Okay.
Had 2 of them as well a few years ago.
Yeah.
And big improvement this one is to that.
Actually, trailer drivers trying to work out where you are, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just see the flash and I'm gone.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Yeah.
the only thing is you can't do anything unless you've got one beside
no, I don't know where they're at. I'll probably ring them.
you. Yeah.
We're tipping in the yard
Yes. Yeah, and then we're going to start loading lorries up.
tonight.
Yeah.
Right,
Ready
okay.
for the morning.
And we can make a bit of a heap for
Yes.
the morning as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then we'll be on it.
lovely.
So yeah, good. Have you been somewhere today?
No, not
No,
today.
okay. Yeah.
No, not today. We're try and reach the other row then, stay on the wheelings.
Yeah, please.
Might be
Yeah.
a bit of a throw because it's just got the grass spout on it. We have a
Okay.
longer spout for maize
Oh, really?
because you have to reach over the end of the header, don't you? That's
Yes, of course, yes.
out the side. And the grass, you have a bit of a short spout.
Well, this
Shouldn't
is.
be a problem. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, okay.
As long as it's not too
Well,
rough.
that there is technically a wheeling,
Yeah,
so they can sit on there.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then
in the
once
middle.
you get over, they'll be on there, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually see them, can't you? Because you can see where the wheels
Yeah,
have run.
yeah,
So as long as they go on there, they'll get the hang, won't they?
yeah. They should do. They'll be fine.
Good. Well, we look forward to seeing it. I'm not known for patience,
No,
and I've been waiting about 2.5 hours.
I'm not very patient either. So once they start, we'll be
And
going.
I've rung Joe about 3 times now, and he said, yeah, they're leaving. Right, okay. I was thinking, crumbs, because the problem is I didn't start another job.
No.
I've been
Oh,
sort of
so
waiting.
you have been waiting for us?
Yeah.
You make me feel bad.
Yeah. Well, that's
I
good.
stopped to
That
get
was
a
the whole.
Twister.
That was the
Stopped
whole
to get
point.
an ice cream.
I'd have bought you the Twister if you'd asked for it. Now we started. Oh, it stopped. We only did a 5 metres. That's some trailer. Look at the size of that trailer, triaxle. Might pick up reels and pick that up. We'll go and have a look, see what that's like, but hopefully that's really picked it off the floor. Fascinating thing watching these foragers, all that horsepower and power. The guy in the trailers have got to be good. They get that wrong. I suppose at least it's not like a combine, they're not going to hit the header. The engine sounds like it's running on fairly constant, so it's not too demanding. It's getting, be interesting to see now it's getting down here into the bottom. The size of the heaps are much bigger. I wonder if that would change the note of it. Yeah, so he's driving back on the tram line. He was on the tram line down there, which was effectively on our 6 metre tram line there, and I think it's going to work out across the field, but they can drive in the right place. So fingers crossed that there's no compaction impact, because this land hasn't had anything in it since 2010 outside of CTF. So, and I'm amazed how much the grass is shrunk, or the oats rather, in less than 24 hours. But we're just going back to the yard now because the guy wants to know where he's going to tip his, start building the clamp. Oops, what was that? Was that my wallet? I don't want you having that, Tom, that's for sure. But it's all right, my Amex card's still there. I know that you've got your eye on it. It should be, you'll see what it's like when it comes out in a minute, but it should all be, you know, chopped up. Yeah. Is he loading for this?
Yeah.
I hope he's not going to go that far into the building.
Yeah, because he's just going to reject it.
Come away from the building. Surprisingly wet, actually, considering how dry it was on the top. I don't think that'll be a problem, Paul, will it?
No.
I mean, it's quite wet though, so we don't want it staying in the trailer, do we? Are you thinking not to load it tonight?
I think load and take it, not leave it in the trailer.
Can you take it now?
I don't know, I'll give Joe a ring, find out there. Yeah.
It's going to be a bit like beet pulp if you leave it on overnight, isn't it, I think?
What, sweat?
Yeah.
Get stuck?
Yeah.
Well, you know what it's like if you leave it in the back of the basket of the mower? That is not a good idea, is it? You don't do that so many times, do you? So it looks like the lorries are quickly filling up, and we're not going to get as much in a lorry as what they're bringing off the field in those trailers. I think it's the nature and how it sits in the trailer. I don't know how many ton we'll get. When we put it over the weighbridge, we'll know. But it might only be 20 ton rather than 25 or something. I'm hoping it's no less than 20 ton, otherwise it's going to be an expensive haulage. Because the distance we're going, it's basically 150 ton a journey, which is £5 times 30. Whereas if we're suddenly in a situation where we're only getting 20, the cost per ton goes up because the journey cost doesn't change. So we're loading Magic first, just seeing how we get on while they're bringing the loads out of the fields. Steve's loading, and then we've got Martin who's waiting to get loaded as well. And then we'll be having all the lorries on it tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get it all cleared in 2 days, that's the objective. And then we've got one other block of land, which is 86 hectares to clear. So we'll have to do that as a field load. So we want it to stay dry to turn the lorries around on the edge of the field like harvest, which is rock hard at the moment. It's unusual for us to do this, but everybody's sort of perplexed as to what's going on. Freddie came up to me and said, "Is this new business? Is this new business, James?" I said, no. No new business. Freddie's excited because he thinks he's going to get to cultivate the fields early, get the Challengers running again. Martin's just saying there's only 13.5 ton on the trailer. That's no good. That's going to be a very expensive haulage. Oof. That's very expensive haulage. No, that's not ideal. They're just going to tip it off now, just to. We want to just make sure it comes out all right, which it should do. They've got to be careful having these bodies right up in the air doing this.
That's why I thought so.
Because they've got to just be careful. We don't often go up on full extension ever, do we? 2.5, yeah, max. What is it, 5? Is it a 5 ram? I mean, it looks quite a lot, doesn't it, when you see it like that? But actually, the reality is there's no weight. So this field is Pecklands. They've done Rectory, they've done Maggots Mount. They're halfway through Cherry Tree. They're now picking off the furthest away fields. So they've done those two. Then they're going into Pecklands here, which is 45 acres. And then when they've done that, they've got Dairy Field, which is there, which obviously by its own name was next to the dairy unit. And I really like the trailers and the setups on these 936s, 942s. There's even an 828 out here. But these are smart trailers. Anyway, they're getting on well. And they're getting a lick on. It's not slow. I mean, for the trailer drivers, I bet it's quite good fun. And because they're not tipping trailers, it actually discharges it. It's quite safe the way that it comes out. They're not pulling it up in the air and risk of tipping over. And it's nice and dry. The ground's hard. So they're running on the tram lines, as you can see, so they're keeping to CTF. So they're doing a good job. They're respecting the way we farm, so I'm pleased. They're big trailers, though. Really are big trailers, because it's quite a bulky product, and it's doing anywhere between 28 to 30 tonne a hectare. Then they don't get far before they've actually filled a trailer, and because of the very nature of it, the guy on the forager's got to stop, wait for the second trailer to come up, and then so on. Because it's got 4 trailers on it, there's pretty much 2 at any one time with the forager, and then the other 2 are either tipping or travelling between. So it's well matched. There's a lot of investment though. This contractor's got a huge amount of investment going on here, and it's a smart investment. Smart forager and the trailers and the tractors. It's a good setup. Yeah, I'm pleased. It's going well, and the lorries are on their 10th load now. Some are on their 9th, the others on the 10th, so they'll all do 10 loads. So that's good outcome. So everybody's pulling together, getting in a rhythm now, and with the sun shining, everything feels good. And it does feel like the start of harvest. It's strange. I haven't done this since the about 93, 94, when I was at Lackham, where we used to do silaging for dairy cows. I think we did a bit when I was at Tom Nichols on the dairy farm in, I suppose, 94, 95. So yeah, what's that now? That's 30 years, isn't it? Is that really that long? Oh crumbs, it is that long. Yeah, Tom's laughing, so it must be that long. It's before Tom was born we worked out. Anyway, he's a 2000 baby, so he's very woke. But anyway, it's 30 years ago since I did any form of silage work. We've now managed to get the payloads up to 16 tonne, about 15, 16. We started off at 13. I think as confidence, and we've got it in the trailers a bit better. We've currently got 10 Arctic lorries doing it. And that leaves 2 which are currently on some mill work. We did have 4 on mill work earlier, and then as the days progress, we've then swatched those onto some moving this. So we're taking it about 10 miles down the road, so they've got an hour's journey there and back, and including loading and tipping at both ends. So they're going to do about 10 loads today is what we're hoping to do each lorry, so 130 to 160 tonne each they should achieve, which on an income basis that should get us to £750 a tonne each lorry, which is cost effective for us to run the lorries like that. So we've got quite a big pile which is growing now in the middle of the yard, and they're loading it as quick as it's coming in, but judging by the size, they got ahead yesterday. I think the pile's actually beating us at the moment, so they're doing some of the further away fields to try and soak up a bit of time, as they've got 4 trailers here now. So their speed of getting it off the field is quicker. Yeah, we're making some waves. So the indication so far with the deliveries which are coming off the first field, it's 46 hectares, so actually it's quite a big field. So we've got all of today before we've probably got that delivered. But currently the forager's indicating that it's doing over 30 tonne a hectare, so actually we're doing slightly more than we'd hoped. Which at the price after I've paid the contractors to do the work, we're going to be looking at about £480 to £500 a hectare. Currently at 7 tonne a hectare and £150 a tonne, which is where the oat market is. we're looking at 1,000. So we're down by £500. So it's slightly better than what I budgeted in terms of losses, and it might even slightly improve. And of course, if it doesn't rain, it gets drier, which is a valid point my father made. Actually, you won't get 7 tonne a hectare. You might only get 5. So of course, it starts to narrow up. I'm committed now. We're on the last block mowing that, so it's done. And actually, in reflection, I feel relieved I've made the decision, and we're now getting this done, irrespective of the fact that it's going to be a lost earner. But actually, for the next crop, especially as I want that field, Cherry Tree, to be the field of dreams next year. I've got the sewage sludge organised, so they're going to start making deliveries shortly, and then we'll look to apply that. I think we're going to have to apply that after the open day, because I don't want the place stinking out, and equally I need to cultivate it and I need to use it as a car park. So yeah, it's quite an interesting operation. Lorries are on it now. Paul's currently got 8 lorries on it. It's going to 10 as of tonight. It's Wednesday today, so they need to be able to, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, hopefully get these blocks delivered. So the turnaround's quite quick. It's just over about an hour and 20 currently between there and back and loaded. So they're making progress. I think that'll improve. They're tipping about 6 lorries in one go in the clamp. It's exciting, really, actually. It feels like the beginning of harvest. It's not quite harvest because it's not full of combines and everything, but it does feel like the start. The sun is shining. Pete and I have been doing some grass seed on the grass areas, watering today, trying to get that to grow, because that is just, I think we've come to the determination we think the seed has just failed because it's not working even when I'm watering, so we're redoing that. But and Chris is cracking on now, getting shortage of concrete. So the next issue we've got is we can't get the concrete lorries in because there's a big job happening. We think it's on the A428. So we can't get any concrete lorries in, so we're completely stuck in doing the next lot of concreting currently. On the 3rd of May, we actually had 2 forklifts, 2 little masted forklifts stolen, and we've gone through the CCTV and we found the 2 lorries that they're on. So we know exactly who the company is. I've made contact with the company, and they won't bring me back. I've been to their premises. They won't come and speak to me. We reported it now to the police, so it'll be interesting to see next week. I'll tell you the whole story. Once I've given the police the opportunity to go and recover the 2 forklifts. Quite interesting what's happened. And the fact we're now 2 weeks in and we still haven't had them recovered, and also that working with the police on this is somewhat extraordinary. Anyway, I'll tell you all about it when we got to the end of the story. So otherwise you only got half a story, and there's nothing worse than half a story, is there? Thanks ever so much, everybody, for continue to support us and buying the open day tickets for the afternoon, etc. You know, looking forward to seeing so many people. Thank you for the support, and thank you for the sponsors who are supporting us, and the banners and things are starting to be delivered, which will be lovely for all the sponsors. And they're now putting together the brochure, so there'll be a nice brochure as well. So we're just ringing up all the sponsors, finding out what they want in the brochure, so there'll be a nice brochure that you guys can get, which we're going to put that money to the charities. So we're our chosen 3 charities, so hopefully they'll get something meaningful out of this whole event. But we look forward to catching up with you next week. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.